How we doing today? Not my proudest performance by any means today. Definitely not my proudest performance. Um, don't look bad, right? Break even. Another one of those just break even days. And today I just found, um, I found that it was trickier than it needed to be. I think that I could have done a lot better. And yeah, I know I could do a lot better today, or could have done a lot better. But price was tricky. If you guys trade today, I'm sure you kind of noticed that the candles were a little bit bigger than normal, right? Maybe not than always, but some decent sized moves pretty quick. And if you just look at the chart here, I mean, we were really, really jagged, right? Anytime price would go one way, it would drop the other. Like this candle right here is 28. Oh, wait, not even more than that. This candle right here is 48 points. I mean, that's a pretty solid move in that amount of time. So, that being said, why am I disappointed with it today? Well, I think I just kind of came into the day just after the sell-off from FMC. I mean, we dumped over like 1,000 points. Yeah, we dumped literally 1,000 points. I was bearish, but I also was expecting to maybe see a little bit of a retracement through some of this. So I didn't really know what to expect because honestly, I don't see the market drop 1,000 points very often. So that was kind of going into the day, and I guess I just kind of was getting caught up because the market was moving so well. I was wanting to place a trade, but I didn't really have. I didn't really wait for great confirmation and what I really need to look for. Oh, man, I'm tired, bro. One of my boys was doing something in town. A lot of my friends are back in town from school, and we had a little like barbecue and stuff. So I'm out a little bit later. Not saying that has any excuse for trading, but I definitely was out late last night, so I probably shouldn't have traded this morning. That's something that that's discipline as well. But I believe, and I'll show you guys the executions. Bear with me, right? Bear with me here. Boom, we took a lot of trades, right? I kind of want to go over. So the first one was here, and then I'll kind of just walk through them, and then I want to go over kind of what the chart could have been, or how I could have read the chart, the price and the chart today, because I think today had a lot of good opportunities. I just didn't take advantage of personally. So the first one, get rid of these new week gaps since they're not correlated anymore. The first trade I took was this trade here. Should I have taken this trade? Should I have taken this trade? No. This wasn't a good trade. We did not sweep this low, and we're delivering from nothing. That's a bad trade, bad start, bad decision. We start out there and we lose, right? We lost a little bit. I can't remember how much. And then we had a 4-hour gap open up. At this time right here, we had the 4-hour gap right here. It's extreme. We had the 4-hour gap, and I wanted to see what would happen inside this 4-hour gap, and we got a 30-second inversion right off the bottom of it. So this was the gap. Again, this trade I don't think is that good, but I took a long here, and I think I was just getting caught up in the fact that these candles were so big, 40 points. I think that I was just hoping that maybe I would catch the one that would run up. So that was definitely a little bit just over eager, right? Very over eager. And then, right, we reswept the low, and we end up inversing this gap right here. Went long like around here. Took some profits around here when it was running up. Went break even. Made back most of the losses from here, right? Because I was trading like 1-2 micros the whole time. Made back most losses. Got swapped out. Then, right, it was a hectic morning. At this point, whenever this 5-minute inversed, I really liked shorts at this point because of my eyes were set on these equal lows and still are since the beginning of the day. And after this big dump, it is very bearish. And we also had these lows. Oh wait, no, we already took those lows out. That's why I was bullish, taking bullish steps, is because we swept out all these lows here. But again, just looking at it objectively, it wasn't really smart. But these equal lows were somewhat my target. I see this inversion, and I went in short. And I took one off at this low, which probably don't need to take one off there, but I did. And let's just see where I got in and out. I guess you can't do it here, but got in around here. It went up against me. If you notice though, we tick the consequent encroachment perfectly at the 5-minute, and we inverse lower. And this actually looked really good. And we end up inversing this 5-minute gap as well. Right here. So I was expecting this to be really, really nice. We tapped back into consequent encroachment again of the 5-minute inverse from over there. And then, right, we tapped into consequent encroachment, close lower. I thought that we were going to deliver, and that would have been a $300 one micro trade with the micro I had running. So that's, that's how you pass accounts, right? Unfortunately, we were just in like very high resistance liquidity conditions, it seemed, because everything had a deep retracement. So we had that sell off, and then we retraced higher. And I'm sure, let's see what we did here. So then, what happened here? Oh yeah, this was a mistake, or not even a mistake. I actually stand by the fact that I like this trade here. I like this trade that I'm about to show you, obviously, because, right, we had the 5-minute inverse, we had the other inversion right here, and then we had this 5-minute gap right here, bearish gap, with the equal lows still as a target. So when we traded up into it, I actually like this trade. This is a trade that I think this is a good loss, but it definitely is frustrating because after this move down, I was back to even on the day. But then I saw us trade into the 5-minute gap, this 1-minute gap here, and I saw us inverse this 1 minute here. And I thought that was a very nice continuation trade to get in and go short. I still like this trade. This is a good trade in my opinion, with given the context, given the equal lows, given the target, and you have a nice break-even point if you want to go break-even there, and it's a good 50-point trade, right? I actually don't mind this at all. I think this was a decent trade. I think that was a decent loss because it had all the things: a 5-minute inverse, 2 5-minute inverses, a 5-minute gap we trade into, we respect it, and unfortunately the conditions were just really really tough. I mean, look at this. Like, look how close we are to those lows. So that lost. So I had just worked hard to get back to even, and we instantly lost. I left my stop like at the high of this gap right here. So get stopped out literally immediately. Now back down again. And I think that was a problem. I took 2 losses, and then I took some winners. And I was just kind of in a cycle today that I just couldn't really break, which was just lose. I never lost enough to where it was like, okay, I need to stop. But I never really I never lost enough to where it's like, okay, I need to be done for the day. And then I would win, and I would come back to even, or a small loss in the day, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, if there's another setup, I'll take it. And today was just going crazy setups, back and forth and forth and forth, like just a ton of setups everywhere, just everywhere. So this actually looked like a turtle soup to me. So when we took out this high and we inversed this gap here, I believe I went short. I went short there, and I traded down to here, and we caught that. And then we made back this loss here. So, and then I think we had like maybe we had an SMT at this high, and then I can't remember. Oh, so this trade actually put me up, and then I tried this long here because I thought that we were maybe flipping bullish. All right, honestly, today wasn't a great day for me. Honestly, it really just wasn't. I was kind of flip-flopping my bias back and forth, just not that good. But I honestly thought that this looked good here, this low here. I thought that this was a nice sweep of this low inside this 5-minute gap, and that we were gonna inverse here. When we inverse, I thought we would run higher, right? That's just honestly what I thought. I thought we were going to run these highs, and that's why I got in, and then I gave up the low profit I had. So definitely a frustrating day. I think it was tricky. I don't think there's really any right or wrong or really any simple, easy answers. But I do want to kind of go over what could we have done, like looking back, right? So cool, those were the trades I did. But if we look at this with a fresh mind, whatever we come in, how could we have done better? Because there's no point in just, right? I want to move away from trying to beat myself up in terms of like, oh, how did you not know this? How did you not do this? Why did you not do this? Why did you do this? None of that, right? Only learning, only growing, only whatever. Look, I mean, we're in really bad conditions. How often, if ever, do you see lows like this? Just boom, here, not take this low, come down, take this low, not take this line, come down, not take this low. I mean, these are bad conditions. Look at the candles, right? This is tough trading. Look at this. Chop, 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 spike up. Doesn't take anything. Drop down. Spike up. Slow climb down. Barely takes that low. Spikes up. I mean, this is a hard day, right? So I don't want to beat myself up. I don't want to, whatever. I'm tired of, I've never found any benefit when in the times I used to be really, really hard on myself. I haven't found it to benefit me in any way. So we can take a step back though and look at the chart. And that's the whole point of making these videos, is to review the chart, review the day, see what I could have done better, what could I have seen, what did I miss, and kind of break it down. So that's what I'm about to do. I'll just drink some water, bro. Y'all can tell I'm low energy, bro. I'm about to sleep after this. But if we were coming to the day, maybe I should have been a lot heavier bearish. Let's check out the, what was that? Look cool. Let's check out this chart here so we can check it out on the 15-minute. See where we had SMTs and stuff, and let's see what we could have done, right? So real quickly, I kind of want to wrap up that last part. Few factors, right? I am really tired. I went to bed really late. Again, that's nothing to do with, doesn't make you push buttons, but it definitely does affect your ability to trade when your brain's not functioning at the highest level. So that's one thing. And then tricky day, tricky price action. And I think the cycle of just losing, winning, losing, like going down, getting to even, seeing another good setup, losing on it, taking another one, making it back. It was just such a weird cycle. But that's sometimes how trading goes. But I'm not going to beat myself up for it. So, again, what could we have looked at? Well, if we look here, there's no real SMT. But we did have an SMT here. So this relative equal low has already been swept on yes. And then on like the 1 hour, this 1 hour gap was a target. So I should have been able to say that this was kind of a target that we could draw to for sure. And then the relative equal lows is definitely where we could head towards. But let's see here. Coming to the day, what could I have done? 9:30 open, we swept the high, and we somewhat displaced lower. Get rid of this. We somewhat displaced lower. We end up having we end up making this order block here, and the 15-minute actually was pretty clean today in terms of, or the 30-minute was pretty clean in terms of this order block ended up holding really well right there. So if we look at that, we have this inversion. So after we saw this gap get inverted, we could expect bearish price, right? We shouldn't really anticipate longs. And I should have had only short buys. I shouldn't have been looking for any longs. That's the main mistake I think I made today, which was that. We had this order block get formed too. This is the change in state delivery on the 5-minute. So this was actually a key point too. And then, yeah, I mean, I think I just was over what's it called? I was trying to trade without a real direction bias, because I didn't really know. And we have an SMT here, right? This high here and this high here gets taken out in ES, which is that in a gap at all? 15-minute? No, we don't really have anything. So I mean, again, I'm not just gonna say, oh my gosh, today was tricky, but I mean, today was a tough day for me to read the market, right? I mean, today for me was tough to read it, right? It was a tough read. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm very confident in my ability to read the market, and some days I'm just seeing candles, right? And that's how it goes. A lot of times you can have a good direction, understanding, bias. I've had many times where I have a great bias, great understanding, and it plays out to a T like I'd expect. And then you have days like today where it's just kind of, when it's these choppy days, because even though it is one side directional wise, kind of, I mean, if we're being objective, I mean, this is tough. This is tough price action. These are big candles. 38 points, bodies, 16-point body, 15-point body, 47-point body, 29-point body, right? I mean, these are big moves here. This one, 47-point body, right? This one right here, 60-point body. I mean, there's big moves happening, and it's just really, really tricky to navigate these conditions when it's just like you rip up, you rip down, you rip up again. Like even just this 1 minute candle, 35 points, just rips up, shoots down. I mean, so again, I don't want to sit here and just give myself excuses for why today was hard and why I couldn't have done better. But I think looking the market, it was definitely tricky. I think that having short bias, if I had to find the best entry possible, I would probably say, I would honestly probably say that the best entry was like that's the thing. It's hard to look at this chart and be like, yeah, this is the best entry. This was the textbook light bulb setup. Honestly, the only light bulb setup I would say I saw was, I mean, honestly, I would say this trade right here would be the best. We had the turtle soup this high. And we got the inverse. I mean, I think this setup's great. It just didn't deliver right here. Yeah, I mean, today was tricky. I really don't got much else to say about it. I apologize for my energy being lower in this video. Might be kind of hard, boring for people to watch, but I think today was a good day to learn from. Definitely good stuff to journal, to take note of. And there's going to be days like this, man. It's not going to always be smooth. It's not going to always be whatever. Some days it's going to whip your behind, right? And today whipped my behind. I cannot lie. So it's cool, right? We could have done well. I really wanted to get that one trade that would, run for me, because the moves were just so big. I mean, like this run right here. Right here was 103 points. I mean, like, you're just getting moves. Like, out of nowhere. Out of left field, you're just going to move. But, when the price is moving like this, it's tricky. So, not going to beat myself up. Not going to, whatever, worry about missed opportunity. I'm just going to learn from it and journal from it, and get better. I'll be back. We'll be back Friday. We're going to have a better day. We're going to have a great day. Get to bed early tonight, and I'm going to be locked in. So, appreciate all you guys that have been watching the videos. Yeah, it means a lot, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.